We have this for the non-APACers. Um, so to start, if y'all didn't see, or I don't know if anyone joined the AMA from the realignment changes, but we're shifting some PM pieces around. This is all my fault because I had the crazy idea to go take over the fulfillment team and switch off of plan and lead the fulfillment PM team into battle to help GitLab get to the point where we are as efficient as a public company ought to be, and actually pay, charging customers what they should be charged, and allowing customers to, I don't know, purchase GitLab on GitLab instead of on a completely different website. So it's super exciting. It's bittersweet since I'm changing teams, but with the realignment, there were a few other changes that related, if y'all didn't see it, the details yet. First, we're not backfilling me, so there won't be a group manager, a direct group manager for the plan stage. That will be Jeremy Watson, who will probably join next week's plan team meeting, inaugural Jeremy Watson appearance in the Plan Weekly. Jeremy's fantastic if you've never worked with him before, and the product managers will be in good hands with Jeremy, so I'm super excited for that. Gabe is not going anywhere. He's staying put, so you'll have to deal with Gabe. And then as part of the shift realignment, we had to go down quite a few engineers for knowledge, basically to the point where the knowledge group no longer exists. Sorry, Charlie, I didn't hear that.
Your internet connection or something else, but did anyone else experience that? Like I missed some of what you said.
Oh, weird.
It was like a crazy skip, and then it went through it really fast. I heard your like high-pitched, sped-up voice. That was crazy.
I'm not sure. Say it again.
Just for posterity, for people listening to this, I don't know if that was intelligible. So would you mind just repeating?
Yes, of course. Of course. Yeah. So Jeremy Watson is taking over as group manager. He'll be the group manager for both plan and manage. Gabe Weaver is sticking around. He will still continue to be the product manager for project management. And then as part of the realignment, the dev section had to reduce several engineers across different stages. Plan wasn't directly affected, but knowledge was. And so the outcome there is that the knowledge group is sort of devolving entirely. The knowledge group will cease to exist in the near future. And so looking at what was in front of us, Eric Brinkman, myself, Jeremy, and James Ramsey were kind of considering all the options. And what made the most sense based on skill sets after talking with some of the PMs was to have Mark Wood transition over to be the Gitaly PM. So Gitaly has not had a PM, I think, ever. It's had an interim PM, Derek, as on loan effectively over from the ops section, but it's never had its own PM, and it needs one. And then because knowledge was going down, Kristen DeBanco seemed like a great fit to take over product planning, the artist formerly known as portfolio management. And so Kristen is coming over. Kristen's fantastic if you've never worked with Kristen before. She actually has some background directly in plan-related things. She built some software for Apple to do just what we do, but as an internal tool for Apple. And so she'll be a great addition to the team. What we're going to do, though, since Mark is such an expert with requirements management, this is a bit of a weird moving deck chairs around situation. But because Mark has this deep expertise in requirements management, and we still want to invest in requirements management because it's this like seedling of a category that we know has this massive potential. And we've done such a great job this year, like going from 0 to 1. We want to keep that category. We want it to continue to exist. And we want Mark to continue to lead it. So Mark will operate as acting PM, even though it won't be like a dedicated group necessarily, but he'll still be leading the requirements management efforts. It'll just sort of be back to the model we had before product planning, where, however we prioritize that work will be shared like it was before. So, it'll be a discussion and a debate between, Mark and Kristen, and then ultimately engineers and engineering managers in terms of how we prioritize work for that category. So I don't know what that will specifically look like in practice, but that's sort of how we're structuring it. So those are all the changes. I'll pause there for any questions. And this might be old news to all of you because you probably saw various issues and you may have joined the AMA earlier. The silence is like, finally Justin's gonna leave. Been trying to get rid of him forever. Am I in slow motion still?
It happened once more there. It's cool. It's like like I'm watching a sporting event. You get to the climatic parts of what you're saying, and it goes slow, and then the last is like no.
So I'm at an Airbnb right now, and the Wi-Fi I'm on is called My Spectrum Wi-Fi A2 5G. So clearly that Wi-Fi is not very good.
That's the same one that I'm using at my in-laws right now.
Really?
Spectrum something C8, I think.
Oh, maybe I need to switch over to it.
It's the default Spectrum router, I think. So I don't have any questions. It'll be interesting to see how the Certify split works, and going from Mark, who was before we combined the two groups, having Mark 100% dedicated to Certify, moving to Italy, where I'm assuming he's going to be spending a good 90% of his time. It'll be interesting to see how that works out, how that plays out.
Yeah, the work that I've been discussing with him and Jeremy to this point has been defining what we think is really viable for the category to start to gain traction, to start to gain basically GMAO in a meaningful way that's not just customers like kicking the tires on it, and they're actually adopting it and bringing it into their DevOps workflows. Once you get there, then I think you can make the business case to, hire headcount, and engineers to go work on it, potentially open up a role for a dedicated PM. But the question is, what does that actually look like? What features do we need to build? And like when should we try and target building them? And that's probably like a year out, right? That's not like a near-term thing. But I think that's the exercise right now, to figure out what that is. And then kind of, we want to work iteratively. We want to not try and be too predictable, but kind of try and work backwards from there to say, okay, well, what would that first iteration be to kind of continue to grow the category? So, but Mark and Jeremy and Kristen will figure it out, and I'm sure it'll be a great plan. Mila she's eating snacks right now. Do you hear her? Clearly y'all hear her. That's funny. She's in a new place, and so everything is exciting and potentially something that can be destroyed, which is fantastic. I think we have a great insurance policy with the Airbnb, hopefully.
Did you talk through timeline?
Yeah. So I'm like already working on fulfillment stuff, which has been a joy and a delight. It's very spicy fulfillment land. And so I've already begun and really probably mostly transitioned from like my day-to-day responsibilities. I'm still going to facilitate manager transition for Gabe and Mark. Mark will report to James Ramsey for Italy, and Gabe will continue to report to Jeremy Watson. So that'll play out for another few more weeks as we hand off CDFs and all those things that you need to do when you transition managers. But in terms of like this may be my last planned weekly meeting, probably, unless I choose to crash and come say hi. But as far as the other changes, especially Mark and Kristen. Mark will likely be involved through 13.7 planning, which is like underway now, effectively, right? Or beginning soon. Kristen has work to wind down knowledge stuff and sort of design management and whatnot. And so I expect that transition not to happen until the latter half, like the end of this month, basically. And that's it. And yes, I will definitely keep playing Among Us. Do we ever set up a formal meeting, a formal official calendar invite for
this though? Because technically you're the imposter among us at this stage.
Wow.
Very sus. I'm very sus.
Dude, so sus right now. Are you even admitted, right? I saw him using events. I mean fulfillment.
Especially with like the stuttering and the slow motion and fast motion. Like it's just a tell easily.
Very sus, yes.
Last serious question around and this might be a better question for Kristen and Jeremy at this point, but the dissolving of knowledge is the case, from my understanding, for everything except for design management, in that we're bringing it onto product planning, but strictly in maintenance mode.
Yep. So the design tab is now a plan feature that's strictly in maintenance mode. The Figma integration will go to ecosystem, and then wikis will go to create, create editor, the editor group, or I can't remember which group, but one of the groups in create. And then the knowledge group as it stands will no longer exist.
But we're not removing the design tab. We're keeping it within issues, and then possibly
I don't know.
We'll add it.
That's a good question for Jeremy and Kristen. Like, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to understand, like, does it have usage? I don't know if like we can directly tie ICV to it, like I can many other plan features. So that's definitely something y'all should investigate and figure out what you want to do with it. It doesn't make sense to like delete it right away. You know what I mean? Like it's not, we don't want to rush into something like that. But it's definitely something that y'all should evaluate.
Cool.
That's some great input, really.
I'm going to miss y'all too, for what it's worth. You're a fun group. I think the fulfillment folks are great too, but y'all have been a great group to, especially as like a welcoming team for someone who's relatively new to GitLab.
Oh, we'll miss you.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. You've been great. You continue to be great.
Simon, there's one failure I have though in my time on the plan team. I was able to fix the Zoom link for this meeting, so now it should never fail y'all again. But the space is still not there.
Yeah, the space is still there
between agenda and the link. So sorry, you can give Anoop that feedback and have him put it in my performance review.
Yeah.
360-degree view, 360 review time. Also, you've gone all robotic again, Justin.
Yeah, he's back now, though.
I saw it happen on my side this time. Y'all were choppy, and then it went super fast. So
it was choppy,
fun, isn't it?
Weird latencies.
Thank you for all your work, Justin.
Of course. Thank you all. It's been a good year.
Has it been a year already?
Not quite, but it feels like it.
Almost.
2020. It's a year. It was late January, early February, so we're getting there. 10 months or so.
Cool. Well,
That technically first of month metrics highlights update. Is that, I don't know who put that in.
Well, it's the first of the month, so I think we usually will try and review something. I'm woefully unprepared for this though. So if there's demos or other things, I can go dig up our latest PI updates and I can share some details. But I probably won't be able to perform on the spot.
No, that's all right. I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't think we have any demos for today either.
I've got something I can solicit feedback on if you'll have 30 seconds.
Of course.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, let's do it. I'm just going to try to share my screen. I started eating toast. Seeing that toaster behind you, Justin, I thought I need to eat some toast. So just going to try to use the mouse with not my index finger because it has toast crumbs on it. There we go. So here's a relevant thing is I've added this checkbox to scope the board to current iteration. It doesn't do anything, but there's the checkbox for you. The thing I was going to solicit feedback on was I've just been running some custom CSS on issue and MR pages. I got sick of the gray sidebars taking up a lot of space, so it's still pretty gross, as you can see. But I just made, instead of like the icon sidebar, it just completely collapses the sidebar there. And then the left one is just this little like them above you. For issues, less so, but mainly on merge requests. Then on like the changes tab, I also got rid of most of the sticky headers. So it just has these two that I actually use. And again, just the collapsed sidebars gives you a lot more space to work with.
But you can still use a keyboard shortcut or something if you needed to copy the branch name or something. You can still like press B or something.
There's a shortcut for that? That's amazing.
If
I press B, you're saying that's going to copy the branch name? No.
Oh.
I have some other things. I have conflicts. It's okay.
But yeah, no, it's quite magical. I find keyboard shortcuts are still a little bit, a bit magical. But yeah, no, it looks great.
Anyway, that's a thing that we should consider. Fewer sidebars and just sticky bars generally.
I really love the minimalism actually. Yeah. Cluttered.
Thanks. Cool. It's in a snippet that I can link if you would like to use it for yourself. Or fix stuff with it because it still needs a bunch of other stuff. We could there's an issue for it where it's being discussed. But anyway, that's all.
Do you mind linking the issue, Simon?
Yes.
Somewhere? Or maybe you did in the notes, I didn't like it.
No, I didn't. I will find it.
Has any UXer, any product designer seen that yet?
No. Let's keep it that way.
We need to, if we want to merge it, we gotta.
Oh no, this isn't for merging. This is just a
personal.
Extension. Yeah.
Like run it
vendetta against fixed sidebars.
It's like the extension I run on boards where I can have the full issue show up.
The full width thing? Yeah.
Modal. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to start writing out custom front end slowly in Chrome extensions.
And then you open a massive MR. It's like
yeah.
Pop up to install Chrome extension when you load GitLab for the first time.
Yeah. All right, I can't find it right now, but I will link it in the doc for this meeting and in Slack when I do.
If we're done with that, I don't have anything to show, but I just want to say something. Swim lane's almost done. So if you can use it, use the shit out of it, and please break it and tell me what's broken so we can fix it. But it looks like we're going to release it in 13.6, hopefully. I'm currently writing docs and fixing bits and pieces, but we haven't really had any negative feedback on it or bugs being raised or anything. I don't know if it's heavily used yet or not. It's on .com. But please use it, please break it, and please let me know. There's a feedback issue for it. I'll link it in the document.
It is heavily used internally. Donald, I don't know if we've updated the team yet on the dog food working group stuff. But swim lanes is the Q4 dog fooding feature du jour. So it should get a lot of usage.
Yeah, which will happen soon now that Q4 has started. I think we'll get a lot more internal usage out of it. Aww.
Say hi, Noah.
But yeah, I've been using it, and I haven't found much. But yeah, I agree. Everyone use it as much as possible, and let's try to find out if there are any bugs we want to fix before 13.6.
I probably missed this, but it is defaulted to on now for .com.
It is, yeah, for .com.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know there's a lot of customers who are in line who've been trying to bug Donald to like give them a bespoke feature flag. So we should get some good customer feedback too, in addition to the internal feedback.
Awesome, Flory. That's fantastic.
It's been
So,
like 5
months.
months I've been working on it. It's almost like half the time I've spent at GitLab. I'm quite happy that I'm finally done with it.
It is fantastic. And in the demos that we've shown, or the customers that have gotten twisted Donald's arm hard enough to get a feature flag, the resounding positive feedback on the fact that you can move issues between epics and between columns. It's something that doesn't exist, and our customers are super happy about that. So great work,
I think Jira doesn't do it, so it's a major plus for us.
Yeah, feels like my parting gift. Thank you all. Okay, I'm leaving the plan
You're
team
welcome.
and taking swim lanes with me. The fulfillment team is really keen on using swim lanes, and they're really keen on using iterations. So it's a perfect handoff. The only thing I'll share, if we have any other items in demo or miscellaneous, I will share let's see if I can link to this. Yes, I can. A thing we changed on our performance indicator charts is that we now have this math that someone did smarter than me to estimate our total self-managed users based on our current opt-in rate. So basically assume the rate of adoption or the rate of monthly active users for a given stage, understand what the delta is between people who have opted into usage ping and self-managed reporting or analytics and those who haven't, and then come up with basically a bar to fill in. So if you look at our charts now that I linked, the light blue, or what is that, lavender? I don't even know, color is the estimate. So it's great. I mean, we sort of expected this, but I like it now that you can see that reporting and you can understand that it's quite a bit larger than what's explicitly reported to usage ping and to snowplow. So that's the only update I have. But I think we actually haven't gotten all the data in from the self-managed reporting yet from October. So I think it's good. We can follow up next week and have Jeremy and Gabe give a more proper metrics update.
Thank you.
Well,
Early.
good to see you all. Have a great day.
Bye forever.
Forever.
Bye.
Invite me to Among Us.
Take care.
Whenever that happens, I will be there. It doesn't matter what time it is of my day.
Awesome. Going to happen. No shunning.
All right.
We'll make sure it's at 3 a.m. for you.
I don't care. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's the right
It's
time of day
perfect
to play,
it. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. See
Bye,
ya.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.